This video is not suitable for audiences under 13 years of age. Hello everyone, Mixfant Gaming here. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I've put together a tactical guide for the SkyShip 11 map here in Mech Arena. Plarium is hosting a contest for YouTubers to put together a guide for that map, so I figured why not take a crack at it. This video is quite a bit longer than my usual videos, so I've included some timestamps for the various sections in the description below. We'll first start with the actual tactical guide, then we'll go through 3 separate games to see some of the do's and don'ts related to the guide. With that being said, let's get right into it. Well everybody, this is the SkyShip 11 map. I did my best to recreate it. It's not perfect, but it should give a good idea as to the location of various structures, allowing us to delve into the tactics we can use on this map. I've tried to come up with several key points and strategies regarding this map. I would classify though my hangar is mid-game, and there may be other strategies and tactics that can be used for specific higher end game mechs that I just don't have. But I have tried to extrapolate as much as I possibly can. So let's get right into it. The SkyShip 11 map is a linear map. It has 2 home spawn points on each side, as you can see here. But unlike all other control point clash maps in the game, it only has 3 control points, A, B, and C, as seen. Therefore, in making that center control point B one of the most important points in this entire map. Keep control of that center point, and you can usually win the game. But because of the importance of that center point, B also becomes a literal death trap. This is not a map that favors long-range weapons such as long arms because of all the structures around the center area, and that will usually block the line of sight. It also is not very effective to use rocket mortars, at least not from your home area. If you're going to use rocket mortars, there are a few areas that you can, but it's usually limited to fighting between the beacons A and C. These are exposed to the open air, and you can rain from one to the other. However, it is not affected on trying to throw rocket mortars into the B area because of a roof overhang that is directly across the entire B control point. This, therefore, is a much more of a short mid-range map due to the intense fights that will usually happen around that center B control point. In order to maximize your chances at taking and keeping B, and of course holding your own control point near your home base, there are a few structures and features on the map that you must be aware of. First and foremost, we have 2 elevated structures to the top and bottom of B. From here, you can do a lot of damage with weapons such as missile racks, pulse cannons, and carbines, raining down towards the center area. But you also need to be aware of enemies that are close by, as you can be easily exposed up there if you are not careful. So you want to use a mech with a lot of health and or a shield like a Juggernaut or Ares. It's also a great place to use a Panther to throw your fence directly across B to prevent the enemy from shooting into the center area, especially if your team is trying to capture B. Also around the center, there are 2 ramps. These ramps are high enough to provide protection from enemy fire, so it's ideal for something like the Ares that has a frontal shield. Engage the shield, climb the ramp, unload your payload, and then duck back to cover as quickly as possible. Just as previously, you want weapons that can deal a lot of damage relatively quickly, such as again the missile racks and the carbines. This is also a great place for the brick house to put up shop. A brick house here near the ramp, using its ability to increase the firepower of other mechs that are also covering the ramp, is an excellent way to clear enemies from that center control point. However, as important as that center control point is, there's one more feature on this map that's just as important, if not more so, to control. And that are the tunnels to each side of the ship. As you can see, there are 2 tunnels. Each tunnel has easy access. Each side, has easy access to a tunnel from the left of their spawn point. Entering the tunnel can gain you easy access to the center B control point. However, if you don't control your tunnel, then it allows the enemy to have free, unobstructed access directly to your home control point. 2 control points wins the match, and you do not want to give up your initial home point. Otherwise, you'll have to backtrack and capture it. If you can control the tunnels and the center, then you control the match. Just like with the other areas, you want mechs that can deal a lot of damage at short range relatively quickly. Use the tunnel exit ramps around the center here to do pop-up attacks. Here are the exit ramps, and here's where you want to throw your attacks in. Unload your payload either at the center control point or to areas around it and then fall back into cover. Be cautious, as once the enemy knows you're there, you'll either have to fight to maintain control or retreat. A Zephyr is a great bot to use in the tunnels, as it can disable enemy mechs in center, as well as those trying to come into the tunnel area. If you're a Javelin player like I am, then the tunnels are you're going to be one of your favorite places. Even with the roof above center, you can launch your javelins through the exit tunnel areas and not have to worry about hitting the roof. This is great for something like the kill shot, to get in those tunnels quickly and start raining those javelins on mechs approaching the center area. But be wary though. Keep your dash ability to either hit those that are coming towards the tunnel or more likely to run. As the game goes on, you'll likely see a lot of juggernauts, and you'll be at a disadvantage running javelins if those juggernauts push into the tunnels. There is also one more thing to mention about the tunnels. There is overhangs on the tunnels, as highlighted in the dark areas here. And it's something that you'll see a bit more when I play a couple games. But these overhangs, the tunnels below extend further out than the roof of the main floor. Meaning, if you're running something like javelins, you can back up to the side and launch javelins around the outside of the ship like this. You just have to be conscious of where you are in the tunnel and of the structures above, but knowing the layout, you can curve the javelins around the structures, delivering unexpected attacks. And one final point I want to make about these overhangs, and that is you can get up on top of them, in behind the center structures. You just have to go over to the side of the ship and get on top of the side rails and follow these over to the actual overhangs. This is ideal for something like the kill shot, where its wheel can ride the rails with relative ease. So getting up onto these overhangs with javelins is a fantastic place to be. It offers you a wide range of targets to choose from, all while maintaining cover from just about any other attacks except for other javelins. When we get into some gameplay, I'll try and show you how to get up there. So, believe it or not, there is another great tactic using the cheetah. So, if you are in the cheetah, you can, because of the center point is so important, if you can get closer, you can just mine the crap out of that center control point. Either coming up from the tunnels and throw your mines down, or come up from behind the ramps at center. Don't expect to brawl with your cheetah, but once you have control over that center point, mining is very effective to keep the enemy mechs from capturing it. You can even mine the tunnel access points or even your own home control point if you're concerned with enemies sneaking around behind you. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering, how do you retake center if the enemy controls it? Excellent question. And the ideal way is to have a tank. Something like a Juggernaut is great, as it has a lot of health, as well as that shield only dissipates if the enemy destroys it. Unlike the Ares shield, that will automatically drop after a short period of time. One of the biggest tips is to not try to capture that B control point alone. especially if you're trying to liberate it from the enemy. The more mechs on the control point at the same time, the faster it changes. So keep an eye out for any teammates going onto that control point and try to join in when they hop onto it so that it turns a lot faster. But how should you start the match? So the first thing you can do is, it actually really depends on your playstyle. Ideally would be to go straight to center. Something like this is great to do in a kill shot. Avoid your home control point and go directly to center before the enemy gets there. You don't want to stay in center, you want to grab it, dive into a tunnel, or retreat behind the ramps. Another approach is to actually head to the tunnels first. Going to the tunnels first allows you to actually control the tunnel area. And in there, you can then come up through the exit tunnels as I showed you before and support B as your team is trying to capture center. Again, the kill shot is great for this as it gets there extremely fast and you can have decent firepower on it to support center. Now, another tactic that you can actually use is to go to the enemy's tunnels. And by doing so, you need to be very conscious of the location of the enemy mechs, as if it's not done right, it is going to be a suicide mission. But you can go, as I mentioned, straight into the enemy tunnel, loop around to their home control point, and attempt to capture it. This can be done with a kill shot, but it's extremely effective by using the shadow. Use the stealth ability to get into the tunnel, wait for the enemy mechs to capture their home control point, and then move towards center. Once they've moved away from their home control point, use your ability again to circle around behind them and take their home control point. This can pull other mechs off of that center area as they have to backtrack to recapture their home control point, allowing your team with the numbers to take that center control point. Don't try to hold their home control point. It's solely a diversionary tactic. Now, I'm sure there are other tactics that I've missed, but hopefully this will provide you with enough information that is helpful and maybe can assist you in coming up with your own strategies. Now, let's actually hop into some gameplay where hopefully I can demonstrate at least some of these tactics that I've discussed. Alright, so we have landed here on the SkyShip map. This is what it looks like from the aerial view. And what we're going to do is, as I mentioned in the guide, we're going to start with my kill shot. And I'm going to plan to just grab our home control point here. And I'm going to try and go over and get on the rail so I can show you how to get up on the overhang. Now, it is very finicky to try to get the kill shot up here. I found it's much easier using a regular robot. So if you decide you want to try and do this, and you want to use javelins, maybe something like a shadow would be a lot better. But anyways, for the kill shot, you kind of have to get right on this corner here and ride that little the little incline up. You can't really be on the bottom or the side. You have to kind of bump it up a little bit. And when you do get up here, you have to stop really quickly because the kill shot moves so fast you could run right off the edge and down almost like I did right there. And I took so long to get here. This is what I talked about in the... and I screwed that up. Crap. This is what I talked about in the intro, where you have to control the tunnels. I spent so much time trying to get up on that railing, I didn't control that tunnel, and that juggernaut came right through there and could have gotten our home beacon, or home control point, I should say. Anyway, so let's try this one more time. I just want to show you that it is possible to get up here. So, we got up here a little bit, so if I just take my time, and now I dash in really quickly here, I should be able to get all the way over. And success. Okay, so we're here. So this is where the overhang is. If you're running javelins, it's a great place to hide. You have a lot of cover, but you do have to be careful. If you get too close to that edge, you'll get right back onto the main deck of the ship, and then you have to start the whole process all over again. That is if you actually want to remain on the overhang. Anyways, so we're going to go up here, and let's try to get that juggernaut, and exactly what I just talked about. I got too close to that edge, and now I'm back up here. So if you're going to do the overhang, don't do that. Pay attention to where you actually are. And I got rocket mortars, javelins coming in on me here. So I'm behind the juggernaut. He doesn't really know I'm here. So I'm just going to keep throwing my javelins down. I'm trying to control the tunnel area, and should take him out here. Okay, so let's just look around. Can I get back up here? Because I've never tried it. No, it's too high right there. Too much of an angle. So we'll just go down. We're going to control the tunnels, and I'm going to get my javelins, of course, by that lancer over there. And so I'm just going to dash in here. As I mentioned in the guide, try to save your kill shot dash for when you actually need it if you're going to be down here. His javelins can't hit me with the roof above, so I wasn't in any danger of losing my mech. Okay, so I hit that kill shot up there. Okay, so my teammate's taken care of. So like I said, the center area here, it really is a kill zone. So you can just kind of get set up. And okay, this is something else I'm going to show you. You should be able to curve your javelins from down here up and around into the enemy home area. As long as you can get somebody on target. See, that's the danger up here. They easily, because you lose a line of sight, and if your teammates don't have a sight on them, you can lose the target on it. But I'm going to see if I can get one of them over here. And, oh, I see I just lost the target again. Right there, okay. I should be able to get him. Coming up around in the Juggernaut. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that you can throw the javelins from just underneath that overhang. I should be able to hit him too a little bit. Okay, let's hit that Juggernaut again. Take down the shield. Anyways, it's very finicky about trying to... You need to really be in specific situations to be able to use the javelins from over here. I much prefer being here in the entrance or the exit of the ramp, just because you have much more flexibility. If you happen to lose a target, you can choose another one. Anyway, so let's just hit him over there. So we're doing a good job. We've controlled center. I tried to dash in there, but my teammates kind of blocked my kill shot ability. So we're just going to back up here. Let's try to hit this kill shot, get him out. Okay, so it was a double kill there. He killed me. I killed him. So now we're going to hop in. We control all three of the control points, which is great. So we're just going to quickly finish it off here. There's only one player left, it looks like. I'm in my Ares. I'm just going to come up into their home area here, their home spawn. And assuming I can get around my teammate here, we'll go in with my carbines and just finish it off. And of course that was a Guardian, but I was able to kill him before he actually got his ability on me. And, oh, he's just spawned in again. And, oh, that's game. Okay, so that's a quick example of kind of where the overhang is. And, you know, what you can do to try to control it from there. I might try and see if I can find another game where I'm successfully up on the overhang for a little bit longer. So just stay tuned and we'll hop into another game here. Okay, so we're back on the SkyShip here. And we're going to try something similar to what we did last time. I'm going to try and get up on that overhang and stay up there with the kill shot. But I'm not going to spend half the match trying to actually get up there. So we're going to go here again and grab our home control point. I've gotten the SkyShip a few more times and I've practiced trying to get on up here. So I'm getting a little bit better getting up with the kill shot. But it's not, I don't usually go up in the overhang just because of how difficult it can be to get up here. There we go. Okay, so we're up. Setting myself, get on up here, make sure I'm nice and straight. Dash in so I don't fall off. Okay, so we're already over here. So now this affords us an excellent opportunity to just keep the enemy at bay. I'll just keep this kind of this wall right onto my right hand side of me, in between me and the enemies, and it'll just poke my head out a little bit when I need to curve the rockets around a little bit more. You don't usually need to expose yourself when you're using the javelins. Sometimes I have to move a little bit if I think I need a little bit more of a curve. But so we're, as you can see, we're doing an excellent job of just staying back, staying at a range, and if there's going to be any real players on the other side, you're going to basically be targeted because you're going to annoy the living crap out of them. So, you're coming around on that side here. I should be able to curve them. No, he's gone down. So I'm just going to, again, switch my target. This position lets me be able to easily switch targets if I can't get one of them. So, for instance, that guy, he dropped down below me. You can see kind of a little red arrow on my lower right. Lower left. He's not really much of a worry because he can't get a line of sight on me. But those javelins, that is the danger right there. If anybody knows you're in here and they have javelins of their own, they can easily curve those javelins around the outside of the ship and hit you. You have no place really to hide from those. So anyways, I am just still trying to do what I can on this side here. I don't have to worry about that guy down here on the left-hand side at underneath the overhang. So I just keep throwing my javelins around the corner here, and you just end up keeping to push the enemy back. They cannot set up shop and get that center control point. So let's just take down that shield of that Juggernaut there, and hopefully my teammates will be able to take it out. If not, on my next volley I should be able to take him out. The one thing about being up here is you're really not using the kill shot ability, but you don't really have to either. I would say probably one of the best spots to actually be using it over here is the shadow. The regular mechs have, at least those with legs, have a much easier time getting up on that railing and walking over in this ramp than actually the wheel of the kill shot. So if you do want to try this, and a lot of people with their shadows, they do run the javelins, it might be a great option for you to try. It's just to walk straight on up and over to this overhang here and just use the kill shot ability. And if you think somebody's going to be locking onto you with javelins, you just hit your stealth mode and they won't be able to lock on. So just go over here on the right hand side a little bit, around the corner, make sure my javelin's curved underneath that center roof. That's one thing you have to be a little bit more conscious of if you're up here on the main deck, is not to throw your javelins straight up. You have to kind of let them curve in on an angle if an enemy is on the center control point. See, you can see he's trying to get to me over here, but then I changed direction and back on up to the other side of this wall that's on my right hand side. Okay, so we got Whack-A-Mole there. I actually think Whack-A-Mole is a real player. Just the way he seems to be trying to get around and targeting me a little bit more. And sorry that I'm actually being a little bit annoying. And I must say though, being in this position right here, it really feels like a cheat. It doesn't feel like I'm really in the battle like Mech Arena intends somebody to be. I'm not sure if they really intended players to be up here. The other bot that's easy to get up here is the Lancer, because you can just come right up to one of these sides and jump onto it. You don't have to worry about trying to walk the rail all the way over here. But with that being said, there is a shadow sitting right there where my crosshair is. He's walking over to the left-hand side. That's a TR Sticks, and he's been taken out. So now that the fight has been pushed all the way back, it doesn't make sense for me to stay on that overhang. And there we go. There's a victory. This goes to show you, if you can set up shop on that overhang, you can actually dominate the match entirely. So we're going to actually hop into another match, and I'm actually going to try and steal the enemy's home control point. Alright, so we're on the SkyShip 11 map again, and this time, as I mentioned in my previous game, I'm going to try and sneak around and capture the enemy's home control point.
3, 2,
so I'm going to go on my kill shot here, I'm going to go up, and I am going to quickly capture this. Although if I was doing it 100%, I should just go straight up to the side. But I don't mind capturing my home control point as I go through, because I need to let the enemy have enough time to get their control point and then move away from it. So I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to pay attention to where all the enemy mechs are. I'll probably throw some rockets up here just to maybe, cause a bit of a diversion. So they're looking someplace else. I'm going to go over onto the control point here. And you can see they already know I'm here because someone just threw some long arms in my way. So I'm going to try and take him out. Okay, good. So I got that kill shot before he got into me. And I'm going to capture this control point, and then I'm going to get out of dodge. The whole point of this is to be a diversionary tactic. And as you can see, the one guy killed is up there. Now there's 2 guys, and now there's a 3rd guy coming back. So I've successfully pulled 3 guys off of that center B control point, and I've able to allow my team that was able to now get the B to the center control point. So I really am probably in over here a little too long. I should have probably backed up already. My job was done. I was a diversion, but there's no sense in me trying to brawl here, especially with my kill shot. They just can keep spawning in their home, and I have a Juggernaut coming in on me. He might be in the tunnel already. Yeah, he's right there. So that was my mistake. I should have completely got out of the way here. Even got up over into my own side. So I'm going to try and dash around up here, get back a little bit of safety, and then I'm going to start trying to play the ramps here. So I'm going to be able to curve my javelins just underneath that roof structure that's directly above me. And see, there's that Juggernaut still coming towards me. So I got taken out by that Lancer with thermal Only Thermal Lance is 4. Anyway, so they've been able to capture that center control point again. So now I'm in my my Guardian here with Miscellaneous Apes, and I'm going to try and work my way up over towards that ramp area where I can just hide behind it and then throw the missile racks in, assuming I don't die here from all these, Thermal Lances hitting me. So I'm already here, so I'm just going to try and just dodge down a little bit, watch it for that Juggernaut, work my way back up, and I will take him out here in a second, just like that. And there is a Lancer there. I think he looks like he has RPGs. He's going to try and take our home control point, which if you're not careful, that's what happens. People can still easily slip around behind you and grab your own control point. So now we're in a bit of a pickle here. We're down 2 control points, but I'm in my Ares now. I should have no problem getting our home one back. He's going to come back, but he's really not going to be much of a threat against my Ares with my frontal shield and my carbines. So I'll throw out my shield here. He's going to keep trying to weave and dodge. And I should have him here in a second, and I'm just out of ammo. That's fine. He's going to try and dodge down there in that tunnel, but I was able to catch him. Okay, so now we're going to work on over to this ramp that I was talking about. We're going to try and... Oh, wait, there's a guy behind us. Okay. Whew. All right, so we have a shadow here, and we have to make sure he's not trying to get over and sneak behind and, again, get our home control point. So I'm just going to weave and dodge, I'm going, his ability will be up here soon, and I'll just take him out before he has that chance to try and go and steal it. Okay, so we're doing okay. There's another shadow there running javelins this time. He's going to go down. Hopefully my teammate down on that tunnel will actually shoot him. But it's an AI, so AIs aren't usually that smart sometimes, at least when they're on my team.
1 minute left.
So we just still have to be conscious of that shadow down there. And he should be over here. Oh, no, he came back around the other side. Okay. So I should be able to hit him in the line of sight here. This is why I like running the carbines. If I do miss quite a bit, the carbines reload quite quickly. So I'm able to... I thought he was right here. Oh, he's back there. See, exactly what I'm talking about. He's still trying to sneak around to our home spawn point. Okay, so we now have all 3 control points, which is awesome. And there's only 1 player left, at least right now on the map. I haven't seen anybody else spawn in. So we were able to successfully control the side areas. We were able to come around and steal their home. Not keep it, but it was just for a complete diversion. And we've been able to get the center control point back.
3.
So he only has a few more seconds here. He's dead, and the match is over. So anyways, those are the 3 games. I hope those were able to at least demonstrate some of the tactics I covered in the tutorial. If you do happen to have any other comments, any other ideas or tactical tips, please leave them in the comments below. Also, feel free to please like this video, and if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. This is a contest after all, and I really would like this video to be noticed by Plarium. I know they are going to be looking at a lot of these tutorial guides, so if you have any tips, leave them below, especially if there's any that I have not covered. And until next time, cause some mayhem in the field for me.